On this day, July 13th, 1943, across the scarred and burning expanse of the Russian steppe, the earth trembles under the weight of thousands of armored titans. But on this day, after weeks of relentless, brutal attrition, the German offensive at Kursk officially fails. This was not just another clash on the Eastern Front. It was the largest tank battle in human history, an industrialized inferno where the industrial might of two warring empires collided head-on.
The engagement at Kursk marks a permanent, irreversible shift in the trajectory of the Second World War. From this moment onward, the German military permanently loses the strategic initiative on the Eastern Front, transforming their campaign from an aggressive war of conquest into a desperate, retreating rearguard action. With the German offensive thoroughly broken, the Red Army seizes total operational control, beginning its unstoppable, bloody march toward Berlin. To understand why this offensive disintegrated, we must analyze the German gamble, codenamed Operation Citadel, and dissect exactly why it was doomed from its very inception by superior Soviet defensive preparation. Following their catastrophic defeat at Stalingrad, Adolf Hitler and the German High Command desperately sought a decisive victory to restore morale and stabilize the front. The plan was deceptively simple on paper, a massive pincer movement designed to cut off and destroy the massive Soviet forces bulging outward in the Kursk salient. However, German predictability proved to be their undoing. The Soviet intelligence networks discovered the exact plans months in advance, giving the Red Army ample time to transform the Kursk salient into the most heavily fortified zone in military history. This chapter explores the innovative use of deep minefields, dense anti-tank defensive lines, and the tactical mastery of the Soviet command. The Soviets constructed layer upon layer of interlocking defenses, burying hundreds of thousands of mines and setting up lethal anti-tank strongpoints known as pockfronts. When the German panzers finally struck, they did not find an open battlefield, but a meat grinder designed specifically to absorb and break the spearhead of the German army.
The sheer scale of the destruction witnessed at Kursk was completely unprecedented in modern warfare. In the dust and smoke of the battlefield, hundreds of tanks were reduced to molten, twisted steel. In this chapter, we discuss the catastrophic loss of equipment on both sides and delve into why the German war machine, despite its technological prowess, could no longer replace its mounting losses.
The Germans pinned their hopes on high-tech armor, deploying their legendary Tiger and newly minted Panther tanks, expecting superior engineering to tear through Soviet lines. Yet, these sophisticated machines suffered from mechanical breakdowns and could not be mass-produced quickly enough. Conversely, the Soviet Union relied on the rugged, highly reliable T-34 tank, rolling them off factory assembly lines in overwhelming numbers. While the Red Army suffered staggering, immense losses in men and material, the Soviet Union possessed the vast industrial capacity and reserves to rapidly replace every single destroyed tank. For Germany, every panzer lost at Kursk was an irreplaceable blow, draining the Third Reich of the elite crews and armor it desperately needed to defend its shrinking borders.
Ultimately, Kursk broke the myth of German invincibility on the Eastern Front once and for all. Prior to July 1943, the German army could always point to their successes in summer campaigns, but Kursk proved that they could no longer achieve victory even under optimal seasonal conditions. We examine how this decisive victory provided the Red Army the freedom and confidence to launch the subsequent massive counteroffensives that would liberate key strategic cities like Orel and Kharkiv. With the German forces thoroughly exhausted and depleted, the Soviet High Command unleashed a wave of carefully coordinated counterstrokes. Kursk acted as the great catalyst, unlocking the full offensive potential of the Red Army and initiating a continuous chain reaction of Soviet advances that would drive the occupying forces completely out of Soviet territory. Decades later, the Battle of Kursk remains the ultimate historic example of the limits of offensive warfare against a deeply prepared and determined opponent. It proved that technology alone cannot triumph over strategic depth, overwhelming numbers, and meticulous planning. As we reflect on this colossal clash of steel, how do you assess the influence of armored technology on the outcome of World War II? Was it the flaws of German engineering or the brilliant defensive doctrine of the Soviets that truly decided the battle? Share your thoughts and historical perspectives in the comments section below.
If you found this deep dive into military history insightful, please hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into history. Don't forget to click the notification bell to join us on our next journey through time. Thank you for watching.